What's up, everyone? It's Gold Standard here, back with another video. And today I'm gonna choose one of the most disliked Mexican fighters in the UFC roster, and that's the cringe himself, Triple C, Henry Cejudo. Now, before, back in the day when he did all his controversy, betrayal to Brandon Moreno, the former flyweight king, he was my favorite fighter just because the way how he carried himself, his persona. But we're gonna go with Cejudo, one of the great, one of like those UFC flyweight champions, UFC bantamweight champions, Olympic gold medalists. Before he turned heel, I feel like he became a heel model ever since he betrayed Brandon Moreno, his former best friend. And yeah, he's by far, in my opinion, I think the hated Mexican fighter in the history of mixed martial arts and UFC. He went with Davis and Figueiredo. He chose Figueiredo over his best friend, Brandon Moreno. He congratulated Brandon Moreno after he beat Figueiredo, and then 6 months later, he trained with Figueiredo. And now, I was there at the fight for UFC 270 live in person when I saw Moreno fight against Figueiredo for the trilogy, and Cejudo was cornering him. And after the fights, he heard a lot of booing to Cejudo. People in my section were saying "fuck Cejudo," but nevertheless, we're going with him today, and we're fighting our first fight with TJ Dillashaw. The reason why I decided to do Henry Cejudo was because my last video I did Kelvin Gastelum, and just because Gastelum looks like Cejudo, I was like, man, I should just do like one of at least a heel Mexican fighter, and that's Henry himself. But back in the day, when I was a hardcore Henry Cejudo fan, I was watching his Ultimate Fighter season with Joseph Benavidez. That was the same season with Kaikar France, Alexandre Pantoja, Brandon Moreno was in that season too. But yeah, one of my favorite Cejudo fights ever was against the Marlon Moraes and the Dominic Cruz fight. He had a lot of good performances, throughout his MMA career. But let's see if I can get a couple wins with the heel himself, the most hated Mexican fighter in the UFC history. I bet you if he fights in Mexico, he will get booed the fuck out by his own people just because he supported a Brazilian over his former best friend. It's like a WWE storyline, if you ask me, right there. But I feel like the whole TJ Dillashaw fight he had a couple years ago was one of his best performances. People were saying it was super controversial because people were saying it was early stoppage. But yeah, I gave him a knockdown right there. But let's see if we could get a few wins with him. Henry Cejudo is the Olympic gold medalist, the only Olympic champion in UFC history. That says a lot about himself, his hard work and dedication he's put into the sport of wrestling, and the former UFC flyweight and bantamweight champ. Man, I mean, I feel like in the early stages of his career, he's the one who kept the flyweights together, like he said himself. Because imagine if he never beat Demetrius Johnson, the flyweight division would have been there would have been no flyweight, flyweight division. There would have been no Brandon Moreno. There would have been no Davison Figueiredo. There would have been no Kaikar France, all these other personalities in the UFC flyweight division. It would have been in shambles. But Cejudo himself kept it together. And there we get one victory with Cejudo. Let's keep the ball rolling with him. I don't like him at all. Personally, for me, after he betrayed his own best friend, Moreno, I don't like Henry Cejudo at all. He's super corny. He wants the media's attention still. He's been like one of those controversial fighters throughout the years on end. But let's see if we can get 2 more fights winning with him. I'll be back shortly. And damn, that's a mean-ass cut. And guys, I can't wait for UFC 5. Like, I'm going to talk about it more in this video. But I'll be back shortly. I'll get 2 more fights in with Henry Cejudo. And yeah, I'll see you guys shortly.
37 seconds of the very first round. Declaring the winner by knockout, Henry the Messenger Cejudo.
5 minutes later.
Alright guys, I'm back. Now my opponent chose Sugar Sean O'Malley. Man, but like I said, back to UFC 5, and I'm gonna get a little bit more to Henry Cejudo in a little bit, but UFC 5 looks amazing, man. I saw like the game impressions, like all the extra features it will have in the game. But I'm gonna get more into that in a different video. But let's talk about Cejudo right now. But you know, that's kind of a little bit like, you know, disrespectful. I'm not talking about the Mexican heel of the UFC. The man who betrayed his own, you know, his own people just by siding with Figueiredo and stuff, and like, you know, training with Brazilian fighters over Mexican fighters. But yeah, man, Cejudo, back in his days, when before there was a Brandon Moreno, before there was a Figueiredo, before there was a Kai Franz, Pantoja, all these other flyweight contenders like Almir Albalzi, who else is in the flyweight? I don't really keep up with flyweight other than if it's Brandon Moreno or, like, you know, when Moreno's fighting, I keep up with the flyweights. That's like the only time I keep up with flyweight. But I feel like, yeah, flyweight's still not really significant as much. But, you know, just because Moreno was you know, the face of the flyweights, in my opinion, my opinion, you know, even though it's considerably Demetrius Johnson, the flyweight king, but Moreno with his Mexican people, his Mexican fighting style. Cejudo, you got to give credit to Cejudo where it's due, but throughout his controversies and like throughout his betrayals of fighters, you know, throughout he's in the public eye, and he lost to Aljamain Sterling. That's, you know, that's a fight that I was like kind of like laughing at him, because I'm like, bro, you lost to Sterling and you were talking all this mad shit. You lost to Sterling, bro. Like you couldn't even beat Sterling, but you could beat other, like, you know, great champs at the time, like Cruz, Moraes, you know, Demetrius Johnson, the rematch, Dillashaw. Who else did he fucking beat? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Sergio Pettis. Who else did he beat? Oh, Wilson Reese. But if he does come back and fight in the UFC, you know, after his loss against Sterling, I want him to settle the score with Brandon Moreno, like either at flyweight or bantamweight. And Moreno could go up to, if Moreno doesn't fight Pantoja, or he fights him and he loses to Pantoja again, I want him to go up to bantamweight and fight against Henry Cejudo. Like, you know, that's a fight that I feel like most fans would want to see, just because the animosity, the history that both of them have. They were going, it's like another Kobe Covington and Jorge Masvidal situation, like, if you ask me. But or Dillashaw and Garbrandt, that's like a betrayal right there. And I give another knockout. Man, I'm getting knockouts with Cejudo. Cejudo's pretty decent. Like, damn, like, that's like 2 knockouts right there. I gave one to Dillashaw in my last fight, and now I give one to Sean O'Malley. But yeah, man, like, so like, that's a fight I would like to see happen in real life. Brandon Moreno versus Henry Cejudo, just because of the animosity, the storyline. It's a perfect storyline. People will tune into that. You know, it's like another one of those things, like another Jorge Masvidal and Kobe Covington. It's like another, you know, Cody Garbrandt, I would say, against TJ Dillashaw, even though they weren't really considered friends, but they were former teammates. But yeah, guys, I'll go one more fight with Cejudo. I'll be back shortly. And yeah, see you guys in a bit.
Very first round, declaring the winner by knockout, Henry the Messenger Cejudo.
5 minutes later.
Yo, what's up, guys? I'm back. I finally found my last fight, and another creative fighter. His last name is Name. I don't know why. That's kind of really awkward, but yeah, back to, you know, the fight. The mega fight at flyweight or bantamweight, whatever weight class they decide to take place, if it even does happen, if it even does come to final agreements, Cejudo and Moreno, that's another fight I want to see for Henry Cejudo. Just to set out the score. But I remember back in the day when I was watching the whole TJ Dillashaw Cody Garbrandt unfolding, you know, Garbrandt was saying that was a betrayal from Dillashaw, like a slap in the face to Team Alpha Male and all this bullshit. When I was watching that Ultimate Fighter, it was kind of funny to me, because now that I see Henry Cejudo and Brandon Moreno's, like, you know, storyline, it's like, to me, I'm like, if I were to talk to Cody Garbrandt, if I had a conversation with Cody Garbrandt, I would literally tell Cody, like, bro, that's an actual betrayal. Well, what Cejudo did to Moreno, that was like a slap in the face to Moreno. He congratulates Moreno after defeating him in the rematch with Figueiredo. 6 months later, he goes and trains with the man that Moreno beat, you know, and then he tells him congratulations and tells him so Cejudo could see. If you guys could, like, understand what I'm saying here, because majority of you, if you guys watch a lot of mixed martial arts, UFC, you know, and you guys know that infamous video where Cejudo congratulates Moreno and tells him, oh, we'll see each other down the line. And then all 6 months later, Cejudo's like all up on Figueredo was saying, oh, I'm gonna help train this guy against my former best friend. And it's kind of funny because I'm all like, yo, like, you were just congratulating Moreno 6 months ago, saying that, like, I'm happy for all your success and stuff. And a whole 6 months later, whatever the fuck many months he gave, you know, the fight took about, he's all like saying, oh, Moreno betrayed me, this and that, you know, he should never have gone with Team Benavidez. But I'm like, bro, you're an idiot because you chose Pantoja over Moreno. Like, you chose him over, you know, you chose Pantoja over Moreno, and then now you're making you're shifting the blame as if Moreno betrayed you, bro. Like, let's be real here. Like, you just want the attention and stuff, the media to be all eyes on you, and you still lost to fucking a clown like a clown in Sterling. This guy's kind of actually giving me a challenger. Holy shit! After all these other guys not giving me a proper challenge, this created fighter is giving me an actual wake up call here. Alright, he's getting his fucking. He's gonna be doing that kung fu shit. Alright, that. Not even kung fu, but like his Muay Thai. He's like his style of fighting. I don't know what the fuck he is. I don't know, so hold on. Just punch miss. I'm gonna start working on the legs too because I'm gonna start shading in some leg kicks. Disguised. Oh, I missed that, man. Imagine if he caught me right there. I feel like that would have been like kind of close to the end of my fight. But he's like really battering on my legs. On my leg, getting a roundhouse kick. Okay, that's the end of the round. Let's see if I could like pick up the momentum. Not pick up the momentum, but let's see if I could like, you know, capitalize on his, you know, like try to like, you know, figure out his patterns, X, Y, and Z. You guys know the drill. You know, like when, you know, you meet an online player and he's kind of like outclassing you. You know, you gotta like figure out his patterns. What's he gonna do next? That stuff in that nature. But let's see if I could like, you know, get a knockout right here. You know, call it a day with Cejudo. But you know, the heel of Mexico, the man that, you know, will not even show his face in Mexican soil for like even I feel like if they even offer him a fight night or like a fucking pay-per-view card, you know, if the money is right, I feel like Cejudo will go to Mexico, but he will be booed the fuck out of by the Mexican people. Okay, leg kick. Okay, nope, that's not gonna work. Damn, fuck. He's actually pretty good with his head movement, but I'm gonna try to like. He has 75 total strikes landed on him. Yeah, he's really doing good right now. Holy shit! I gotta like shut the fuck up and focus on this fight, cause or else I'm gonna get my ass kicked. And yeah, he has my number right now. Okay, let's see. Okay. Yep. Keep doing that same. I'm gonna catch you, bro. Just like right now. Okay. Actually, give me a fucking challenge, but he's got to stop using those kicks, to be honest with you, because he's gonna waste out his fucking stamina and energy. What the fuck? Alright. Don't get too overconfident, bro, because that confidence is not gonna get you anywhere. Oh shit. What the fuck was that? There, overhand. An overhand that stopped the fight. Well, I ended it, but anyways, guys. Close one, respect to you, bro. Good fight. You know, you were kicking my ass, bro. I feel like if we lasted all three in the scorecard judge's decision, you would have won the fight if I didn't pick up my momentum. But I caught you. Good fight, an overhand. And there you guys have it, my Henry Cejudo, the heel, the most hated Mexican fighter in the UFC mixed martial arts community. But alright, guys, if you guys like content like this, please show some love to my channel. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'll be continuing making more content. I'll make vlogs of UFC and me going to the events, because I've been to like 2 UFC events and 1 BKFC event. But if you guys like this content, please show some love. Share this video out, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much. Peace out.